with the firing of the guns. And it's just what it sounds like. Everybody goes out to the front yard in the morning, Christmas morning, sunrise, shoot a gun up into the air. There's a joyful noise here in the city. I wonder what that was like for that royal family their first Christmas year. Yeah, listening to all their neighbors shooting up into the air. But you know, it's a time when most folks are miles away from the nearest neighbors. So it's a way of saying good morning, Merry Christmas. And I'll see you later at church. Yeah, firing of the Christmas guns. Now over here in the parlor, Captain Floyd and Mr. Menzies, Lord Dunmore's clerk secretary, conduct business when the room is not being used by the family or for entertainment. As you can see, the card table is set up. Excuse me, I'm going to head towards these blinds. The card tables are set out. Very popular to play card games, to gamble. There's a card game called Lou, and it's a forerunner of poker. And by the way, children 7 and 8 years old are playing and gambling for money at this time. So, yes, we're not those Puritans up north. We gamble, we drink, and we dance all night long. Christmas season. It's a little more light here. Anybody have any questions for me? Anything you want to know about? We have invited to go upstairs to see private spaces. Now go to a bedchamber for Lady Catherine and Lady Augusta. Then you're going to see a dressing closet and a guest room, and we'll stop in the most private room in this house. The Countess's personal dressing room. Her children must ask permission to visit their mama in her dressing room, or perhaps, like the Queen, make an appointment. Yes, we have a letter that Queen Charlotte wrote to George III. They were in the same castle at the time. And in this letter she said she just made an appointment to visit with one of their sons a week from Tuesday. It's quite remarkable. George III and Queen Charlotte had 15 children, and all of them survived to adulthood. Lord and Lady Dunmore will have 10, and 9 survived. Just 2 months before she set sail to come here, they lost a 10-year-old son, William. There.
Can you tell us about the crest?
Oh, sure. This is the coat of arms for King George III. The one over my head is for Queen Anne. She's the first reigning monarch when the palace was completed. By the one over my head, this one of Queen Anne is an original, made about 1706. And originally was in our first Capitol building here in Leeds. Anything else on that? Okay, when we go up upstairs, please stay to the left-hand side. Please be very cautious. There's a little half step in the landing. Please remember, don't stop for pictures. But you're now going to see the rest of 540 weapons. Mary Isabel. place over now. Why don't you come on up here and we'll talk about the children here. I get everybody in. Thank you. Come on. A little closer. A little closer. All the way up here. Come here. More people behind. Another step. Another step. I have to treat you like royal children, so I can't look down at you or anything like that. Do you know that? This time, for the royal children, even the teenagers, people can't go up to them and look down. No. Even the little baby. No. Never look down at a royal child. Is everybody in? So, okay. Please step all the way in, everybody. Come on, we got more room. There we go, thank you. Well, gentlemen and ladies, let's talk about what you've seen. The first chamber was for Lady Catherine and Lady Augusta. The two young ladies shared the room, shared the bed, and shared the room with their governess, Mademoiselle Francois Galli. She's also their tutor. Now, their education is supervised by their mother. The Countess visits the boys at the college from time to time. Sir George Lord Fincastle, his brothers Alexander and John, at 12, 11, and 9 years old, live in the dormitory at the College of William and Mary, attending the grammar school. In this city, boys go away to the college, living in the dormitory as young as 7 years old. So that's where you'll find them. May I ask how old you are? 10. 10. Thank you for playing along. So you've been to the college for 3 years now. You wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to study Greek and Latin for 2 hours before breakfast. Finish at 8 o'clock at night. And do this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday morning, church with a family, a fine dinner. Then the young men of this household enjoy some free time. The boys here like to go horseback riding, fishing, and hunting, but mostly fencing with swords, even in the house. How does that sound? Chase your brother around the house? Yeah, they had a pretty good time. Now, the young ladies must return to Europe in the next few years, no matter what. They must be presented to court. So there's no one of their social stature anywhere in North America, so they're being prepared. They're taught several languages. French is the most important. French manners and French deportment are expected. They spend their afternoons in music and dancing, learning how to properly pour tea, to do fine needlework, but I bet they'd rather go shopping than anything else. Did you ladies notice the fabrics on these beds, the beautiful prints? They are all hand-painted. Cotton chintz coming from India, just like they were then. It's as expensive as the red silk you see on the walls here. Very, very fine. Now, this is the Countess's dressing room, but before she arrived, Lord Dunmore used this as an office, a reception room. He had his desk here and greeted the governors from the Carolinas and Maryland. Then the Countess arrived. He went out to fight the Indians. And while he was gone, his desk went downstairs to the dining room. You know what that means, don't you? That royal governor of Virginia, king's representative in North America, the highest-ranking royal in all of North America, commander-in-chief of the British forces for North America here in Virginia, must now conduct business in between or during meal times. So his wife could have this for a clothes press, where she keeps her silk stockings and the ribbons for her hair. And the dressing table, that dressing table looks just like the Queen's. Lady Dunmore's the purest. She marched in the Queen's coronation parade. They're both only 17 years old and newly married. Yeah, she saw the Queen's dressing table, had to have one just like it, and there you see. The evening of the grand ball in January, Lady Augusta was here playing this, the newest musical invention, called the pianoforte. Lord Dunmore brought the first pianoforte to our royal governor's palace. And that is the day the new baby, Lady Virginia, was baptized. Following her baptism, we know she was in this room on display in a presentation crib. Now, the presentation crib is different than the crib in a nursery. For one thing, the mattress is up a bit higher. And that is so if you ladies are ever invited into this room to gaze upon a royal child, you will enter the room and display a courtesy at an appropriate distance, still be able to see her. Again, you do not go up to royal children and look down at them. Certainly wouldn't pick her up and hold her as you would one of your own. Even at 5 weeks of age, she is of higher social stature than anyone else in North America, save her own family. So you will show her royal deference, or you'll be shown the door. Now, above stairs on the 3rd floor, additional chambers for children and servants. There are winding staircases go all the way from the cupola down to the cellar, and that is how children go through. Because children are not to be seen or heard. You don't sit at the dining room table. You're between 10 and 12 years old. To have adult manners and can engage in adult conversation, which means you can speak about politics and fashion, do this fluently in French. You also have to sit still for 2 to 3 hours every afternoon. There are 42 other rules you must learn and obey before you may dine with your parents. I dare say every single individual in this room must still be on the 3rd floor with the servants, waiting to dine with your parents. Do you have any questions for me? Anything at all? Anything? No? Okay, we are going to go downstairs and you'll have a look in that dining room. Then I'll join you in the ballroom, talk about music and dancing, the finest entertainments at the Royal Governor's Palace. Please be careful on the stairs. Stay to the left side. Thank you.